Good morning, listeners. I hope everyone's doing great. Welcome to our 12th podcast. I apologize for disappearing since last 6 weeks, but what can I do? I had to go through a surgery, but I'm much better thanks to divine mercy. So we left our last podcast with a question, and that is, what commitment and sacrifice we have done to complete the journey of divine love. As you remember, we mentioned that divine love requires our attention, commitment, sacrifice, patience, and above all, our intentions. That is one way of understanding living with love and light. So let's dive into, as per our previous question, what have we done to get divine's love? Now let me explain you what divine love is or how to acquire it. Divine doesn't actually want us to do anything particular or anything at all for him. He's got everything he needs, and that is why he's divine, all knowing, and all loving. What I meant by divine love here is, who did we serve? Why did we come to this earth? What is the purpose of our life? We didn't just come here to be born, to get a job, or have grandkids and then pass on, right? Remember, I mentioned in my previous podcast that divine light is within us. Every one of us is born with it. We just have to figure out how to ignite it and be able to follow it to complete our journey. Every soul that's born, as any creature, is born with a purpose. As per the quote behind the Alchemist book by Paolo, he says, to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. As he said, once you find your destiny, that means you have found the divine light, which is your only obligation. Destiny is not a location. Remember, it's a purpose of your life. It's like what our parents would do to make us do few chores around the house before they can give us any reward or treats. Just like that, divine works the same way. He has given us a purpose, a duty, a mission that we need to complete before he gives us our reward or his love or his light or any special gift he has for us. To complete our purpose, we don't have to be a missionary or a messenger or a scholar. You just have to be you. Once you recognize your purpose, everything starts unfolding in front of you. You can see it all clearly. I'll give you my personal example. When I was born, my mom left me, and my grandma and my grandfather raised me. Being a child without the mother, it's not the most favorable childhood. So during that time, I obviously lost my purpose or mission or light, and I couldn't figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do. But when I turned 7, all of a sudden, one day I was sitting in front of a black and white TV with my father, and I saw the news that in Ethiopia, between 1972 and 75, famine raged, which killed over 250,000 people. And it was heartbroken sight for me, seeing UN airplane landed with few other humanitarian leaders, and they were literally passing through the human and animal skeletons. That very moment, at the age of 7, I told my dad, I'll never waste a minute of my life, and I'll make sure that this catastrophe never happens again. And I'll work for UN when I grow up. That moment must have been the moment of me finding my purpose in life. Later, I went to the library, dig through the general knowledge books to find out what UN is and reviewed their work. As we didn't have Google then, right? Or couldn't even afford to buy the reference books. It could happen to anyone if we're willing to open that eye from which we can see the love of His beings that could lead us to our purpose in life. Since then, I do recall I never wasted my time. I was always learning, getting new skills, also training students at my grandma's schools. Even at the age of 7, traveling to nearby villages with my uncle over the weekend, and even there, I would run to the villagers and teach them English. No doubt, in return, I got some fruits from them to bring home. But all it matters is that I remain at my purpose. And that's why I would like to guide the humanity to find and realize their purpose in life. My life is a long story, which will start giving you as an example through my podcast. But just recently, when I thought at the age of 56, where I am kind of retired from my purpose, I received a news from very reliable source in May of 2024 that I come from Sumerian bloodline. And it was a shock. So instead of taking it easy, I registered myself to learn about all interfaith religions, hoping to find some clues, but I was unable to do so. And then comes another news, which was just 7 days ago, that I am from a family of Enoch and a Sumerian bloodline. And the news said, actually, a family member of Enoch. Now imagine working on that purpose to solve the mystery. Honestly speaking, I had no idea who Enoch is until I Googled and I found out Enoch's name in Islam is Prophet Idris. And I don't know much about him because I just barely started learning about religions. You see, your purpose and your vision or your mission in life may not match your personality or may not be something you want because religion was the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I never have. To me, humanity was the biggest religion. But now I'm going to dig in more and do the research to find the truth. I would like to end this podcast with a question, and that is, did you come to this planet looking for a job or a career? As I believe humans were surviving without the job because they had primitive instinct or survival. Neither they cared about career as they knew that the divine wisdom will guide them. So the question now is why humanity at this point is just worried about a job or a career? These are the questions I want you to think about during the next few weeks, as who knows, it may lead you to finding your purpose in life. I'll be back next week. Meanwhile, please visit our website www.upa3.com/podcast to subscribe to our newsletter for the updates. Once again, I wish you all a great journey. And remember, love is the most noble thing in the world. Goodbye.